In the quiet town of Union, South Carolina, Susan Smith was known as a devoted mother to her two young sons, Michael and Alex. Family photos showed her smiling with the boys, projecting an image of domestic bliss. Behind this facade, however, lay a troubled marriage and emotional turmoil. The Smiths' modest suburban home became a stage for hidden tensions, foreshadowing the tragedy to come. Susan's marriage to David Smith was crumbling under the weight of infidelity and emotional distress. Frequent arguments filled their dimly lit living room, with framed wedding photos knocked over in anger. David's suspicions of Susan's affairs grew, while she struggled with feelings of rejection and loneliness. Their once happy home had become a battleground, setting the stage for desperation. Susan sought solace in a secret affair with a wealthy local man, who ultimately rejected her because of her children. Love letters and whispered phone calls fueled her obsession, but his departure in a luxury car left her devastated. This rejection became a critical motive, as Susan saw her sons as obstacles to the life she desired, a life she believed was now unattainable. On October 25, 1994, Susan strapped Michael and Alex into her Mazda Protege and drove to John D. Long Lake. With chilling calmness, she released the brake, sending the car into the water. As it sank, she watched from a distance, her face eerily emotionless. The boys, strapped in their car seats, drowned, a calculated act that defied maternal instinct. Susan fabricated a story about a black carjacker kidnapping her children, sparking a nationwide manhunt. Tearful TV appearances and missing posters portrayed her as a grieving mother. Law enforcement and the public rallied behind her, unaware of her guilt. The racial tension from her false description added another layer of tragedy to her deception. Union's residents held vigils, demanding justice for the kidnapped boys. Susan accepted hugs and sympathy, manipulating the town's trust. Racial tensions simmered as her fabricated description of a black suspect spread. The community's unity masked the horrifying truth. The real threat had been among them all along. Investigators grew suspicious as Susan's timeline unraveled. Surveillance footage contradicted her account, and her emotional displays seemed rehearsed. During interrogations, she nervously bit her nails, a stark contrast to her public persona. The lack of ransom demands or carjacker sightings pointed to a darker explanation. After 9 days of lies, Susan broke down. She confessed to drowning her children, scribbling the admission on paper. Her motive? To pursue a relationship unburdened by motherhood. The handwritten note, stained with tears, became the key evidence in a case that shocked the nation. A 1995 trial gripped America. Prosecutors portrayed Susan as cold and calculating, while her defense argued temporary insanity. Photos of Michael and Alex were displayed, forcing the jury to confront their innocence. Susan avoided eye contact, her demeanor a far cry from her earlier performances. Susan received life in prison, eligible for parole in 2024. The town of Union grappled with betrayal, leaving teddy bears at the lake as memorials. The case left enduring questions about maternal filicide and the masks of normalcy that hide monstrous acts. For Michael and Alex, justice remained elusive.